Go to get ice cream. Woman and her retarded kid are behind me in line, and the kid is throwing a tantrum. In line for almost 15 minutes because it was a record-breaking temperature summer day. My patience is being lost. Finally get my ice cream and take the last of the chocolate that they had. The tard overhears the bad news that I got the last of the chocolate and starts flipping his shit. The mother of the tard asks for my ice cream. No trade or anything, just asks me to give it to her. I am reasonably insulted. I lean down towards the kid, and a look of bewilderment, and apparently what he thought would be an unavoidable victory, appears on his face. My mouth curls into a vindictive smile as I say, "Santa Claus is dead." The tard starts screaming so badly he begins to cough violently from screaming so much. An attractive woman at the ice cream stand gives me a look of disgust. A look of malice joy crosses my face as I walk away, and the tard is refusing comfort from his mother. From a short distance away, I could hear the tard exclaim through his deep sobs, a somewhat broken cry of, "Santa! Santa! Santa! Santa!" Best ice cream ever. Be me, 16 at the time, in high school, at lunch dicking around on a laptop. Friends are on their phones. Hear the loudest screech I have ever heard in my life. Fuck. Think, damn, this really be how I go. Look to my left. There he is. Megatard. Megatard is standing on a fucking table wielding a microwave. Wranglers are holding a perimeter. No one allowed near Megatard. Megatard surveys the room. Megatard yeets the microwave towards a table. It was near the end of the school year, so no one was at lunch. The table was empty. The Wranglers are all flabbergasted. He isn't finished. Wrangler is on the phone trying to call the security desk at the other side of the school. Anger.mp3. Megatard grabs a phone and throws it towards the wall. It shatters. Then, Megatard sits back down as if nothing happened. Does anyone else unironically wish that they were a tard? Like an actual Down syndrome or low to mid-functioning autism tard? With a rich family, of course. Be able to neat all day. Family takes care of you. Too dumb for long-term anxiety. Completely detached from the uncomfy outside world full of normies. Video games and anime all day. Ever since I was around 8 or 9 years old, I fantasized about becoming a comfy tard kid. Be me, 8th grade. In class. Wants to go to the bathroom. Gets to bathroom. Sees Wrangler standing outside. Oh shit. Open the door. Tard, naked, violently masturbating, waiting for his next victim standing in the doorway. He looks at me. Oh fuck.jpg. He screams like a chimpanzee and starts galloping at me like a horse. Bolt the fuck out of there. Not today, Spud. Be me, 7th grade PE class. First period, so I'm tired as fuck and forgot my glasses at home, so I can barely see. Playing kickball. After a few innings, a wild tard and his Wrangler enter the gym. The teacher decides to let him kick. I don't know that it's a tard, however, as I'm at third base and the gym is fucking huge. The tard is taking forever to kick. Impatient.jpg. Shout, "Come on, hurry up!" Everyone stares. A Chad kid goes, "Dude, what the fuck?" I look closer. Fuck.jpg. The tard kid is crying. Everyone treats me like I'm Hitler for the rest of the year. My face when. Be me, 16. Have tard who is a downy with a little autism sprinkled in. He is a somewhat high-functioning tard, so he gets to ride the bus and gets to leave Tard HQ to be in normal class. Going to refer to as David from now on. Be on bus, home from school. David sits in the back in his own special seat. No one sits in the seat with him, not across the aisle from him or in the seat in front of him. The reason for this is because David wears a diaper and frequently pisses and shits himself. Also sticks his hand into his diaper and paints the surrounding seats with shit. JacksonPollock.jpg. Thankfully, David keeps to himself and doesn't fling it around like an ape. Until one day. David stands up in the back. Me being only 3 seats down from him, I smelled a powerful stench of fresh shit. David then proceeds to open the door at the back of the bus and starts flinging small pieces of his shit at the cars behind us. What the flying fuck. MP3. The cars start swerving left and right to avoid the onslaught of shit flying their way. He then lobs the rest of the giant turd at the car directly behind us. My face when it splats directly on the windshield and covers 2/3 of the whole thing. The car proceeds to swerve off the road and into a tree. Loud bang. MP3. David then claps his shit-covered hands and proceeds to sit back down. The bus driver, who had apparently learned his lesson about David from a broken nose earlier that year, just kept on driving. He proceeds to pass the stop and lets David off right at his house. Next, he calls the school to inform them what had happened. David was never on the bus again, and was always at Tard HQ from that day on. The school ended up having to pay for the damage to the car that crashed. David was never seen around the neighborhood again. Be me, at dollar store with Pops, browsing through the different brands of laundry detergent. A wild Tard appears. Tard has a toy dinosaur equipped. Tard begins making assorted playful dinosaur noises. Dad has always done this thing where he playfully whips me with his lanyard. Dad whips me with his lanyard for 7 HP. Tard drops his dinosaur toy, shouts, "Hey! Stop that!" in his mongoloid voice. My eyes widen. The Tard lunges towards my dad. Dad books it. Tard is in hot pursuit of my father. My sides.jpg. Cannot stop laughing. Can't find father anywhere. Find him outside the store in our truck with the doors locked. The terror in his eyes. My face when Dad almost lost all his HP from a level 99 Tard. Be me, 22 years old, living in southern Indiana. Miserable wage cuck with no GF. Living paycheck to paycheck as a Tard wrangler in an assisted living facility. Be Tuesday is actually my Friday. Only 2 hours to go, .gif. My weekend approaches. Suddenly hear a ruckus happening down the hall. See one of the Spuderinos flopping around on the floor, more energetically than usual. There's a small contingent of tater tots gathered around to see what's going on. I see that the guy's face is turning purple. I dive in and haul him to his feet. I wrap my arms around his midsection and begin pumping him like a butter churn. He coughs like a 69-year-old smoker, and out comes something the size of a golf ball. What the fuck. .jpg. I flop the baked potato back onto the ground and walk over to investigate the object. My face when he had tried to swallow his favorite Hot Wheels car to keep it from falling into the hands of his rival Tards. Be me, 6 years ago, in 10th grade, 8 out of 10 GF. Our high school has a high population of Downies and Tards in general. Go to school one day during the winter. GF tells me she is 4 months pregnant. I'm speechless. God fucking damn it. .jpg. I sprint down the hallway. 2 periods later, about to explode in rage in the hallway. I stop. You know that feeling when you're about to climax and blow your load? I scream at the top of my lungs. Complete silence. Everybody is staring at me. Soft whimpering coming from behind me. I turn around. It's a Tard. He thought I directed my rage towards him. He runs away. Okay, bye Tard.ogg. I lulled and all my pain went away for a while. Period 6, final period of the day. I apologize to my GF for acting crazy. I accept my commitment towards fathering a child. Walking down the hallway with GF. Decide names for the baby if it's a boy or a girl. Then, out of fucking nowhere, the Tard from earlier charges into GF. I saved you from that monster! Total shock. Tard and GF are on the floor. Tard wranglers come in. GF is knocked out. I realized what had just happened. Find out my child passed away in the womb later that week. Be me. Be 17 in high school. Not many friends and not too popular, but I don't have a bad reputation around school. Normally pretty quiet, keep to myself. My school was as liberal as they came, posters for autism awareness plastered in every hallway pretty much year-round. Have an abnormally large population of tards in our school, roughly a class of 30 to 40 of them at a time. Most were unintelligible, didn't know how to talk. Except for one. His name was Daniel. But everyone called him Dan the Man. He was a tard, but just smart enough to take advantage of it. He could get away with anything by pulling the tard card. He's a total World War II nerd and everyone knows it. Carries around a sketchbook filled with detailed drawings of tanks, guns, and planes from the World War II era. Sits at my lunch table with a few of my friends sometimes. We let him sit with us because he hadn't caused any trouble with us. Yet. One day he comes into school wearing full World War II garb, infantry helmet, rucksack, the full standard uniform. Pretty sure he stole it from his grandpa or something. Actually, it's kind of impressive for someone like him. Totally surprised everyone. But there was a catch. This uniform just gave him even more power. All of the other tards praised him. Earns the name Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan sits down at our table in his World War II garb. We all compliment him on his uniform. He smiles and gives us a sloppy salute in return. Respect earned.jpg. Suddenly, I get a horrible, horrible idea. Along with being a World War II nut, Lieutenant Dan despises Stalin or anything to do with communism, including the color red. After lunch, I print out a picture of the Soviet flag in the library. I carry it around for the day, waiting for the right moment to plant it in his rucksack. He leaves it unattended during our 5th hour, and says that he needs to go fight the commies or some shit. After I can't hear his boots in the hall anymore, I fold up the picture and carefully place it in his bag. Nobody notices. Get back to my seat, just in time. Lieutenant Dan runs back into the room singing the MASH tune. Goes for his sketchbook in the sack. Oh boy, here we go, Manifesto. Lieutenant Dan sees the folded paper in his bag. He takes it out and looks around the room with a weird look. He unfolds it. He just freezes for a second, staring at the flag. His face slowly starts to look angrier. I can see the pressure building. I can literally see the veins in his forehead popping. He explodes, ripping the flag to shreds before absolutely losing it, calling everyone in the room communist retards. Kicks his desk over, hurling his rucksack across the room. It must have been filled with more than just his books, because it hits Stacy square on the head, and the impact is like a brick. She starts screaming. Dan screams louder. The teacher starts freaking out, calling the office for backup. Dan storms out of the room, headed towards the main office. Everybody's freaking the fuck out. Stacy's head is fucking split open and bleeding. The Chads are trying to comfort her. I'm just sitting back here trying not to laugh my ass off. Dan comes back, but not alone. He doesn't have teachers with him, nor his parents. He brings 5 or 6 of his tard squadron from the other classes. Not exactly sure how he did it to this day. They all collectively burst into the room, yelling and moaning about communism, or the closest thing they can get to forming an understandable form of speech. Lieutenant Dan has his tard platoon try and root out the communists in the room. Lieutenant Dan gets right in my face now. I'm the only one not making a huge deal out of the situation. I can barely understand him because he's so angry. After a minute of yelling, he calms down, waiting for me to admit that I did it and that I'm a communist. I admit to him that I put the flag into his bag, and that I believe communism is a superior form of government. I don't actually believe in communism, but I knew it would set him off again. He goes apeshit again, shoving me out of my desk. He crawls on me, clawing at my shirt. I realize at this point that I made a mistake. Other students try to pull him off of me, but his tard strength is just too much for them. They restrain his arms, but he's still on top of me. He fucking headbutts me with his military-grade World War II helmet. Right on the temple. Everything's blurry. It feels like my head was busted open pretty good. I black out. Later, I wake up in the nurse's office with a raging headache. My friends tell me that the Wranglers got there right after my lights were knocked out, and Lieutenant Dan was sent home. Be me, about a year ago. Feeling like making some cheese dip, but I don't have Velveeta. drive to the store to get that deliciously fake cheese, stroll over to the dairy section, see Velveeta. Massive tard standing between me and the Velveeta. Whatever, I'll wait it out. Tardicus does not move. After a few minutes, I figure, what the hell, I'll just go in there and grab the cheese. About to grab a brick of Velveeta when a pudgy hand slaps mine away from the cheese. Tardicus stares at me with his soulless eyes, says, "That's mine," in a gravelly fucking tard voice. Okay. I make a move for another brick of cheese. "That's mine too." Are they all yours? "Yes!" Fucking hungry at this point, but not sure how to get past Tardicus. I quickly grab some Velveeta and begin walking towards the checkout. Tardicus was pretty heavy, so I didn't think he could move too quickly. I was horribly wrong. Tardicus releases a low grumble that seems to shake the entire store. "Velveeta!" At this point, I am fucking running to the checkout. Tardicus is in hot pursuit. Don't even have the lady scan the Velveeta, just throw $7 or some shit on the counter. Tardicus is subdued by a wrangler before he can follow me into the parking lot. Muffled shrieks are heard from the building. Victory.jpg. It was some damn good cheese dip, too.